just started going live. Found this box. You've probably seen a short at Fred Meyer store. Change the setup. Actually, this is primer behind me, and we're going to paint it up and here the home repairs. Anyways, got some cardboard damage here. Some nice crushed box. Not really good for resale. I don't know if these I ever resell. Of course they will, because everything does eventually. Does have the TIE Fighter at the end. And this is our latest TIE Fighter. A lot of people hated this when it came out because it was kind of small. There's a little anti-theft thing. So we're going to go ahead and try to open this in the channel way. We got a bread knife here. Funny story about this bread knife. I may have to tell a story about this on the other channel. And by funny, I just mean weird, not funny. It's actually not sawing into the box. Lego uses these blobs of glue. And if you rip into here, you can usually separate those without tearing up the thumbnail. Destroy the box. And I like to save these boxes, especially these, because I might do a background wall art or something eventually. I don't know. See how the channel goes. It's definitely empty. Let's set it. Let's see. Set it here. I guess I don't know. What we have here, we got bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. Fairly thick manual considering the size. It is that white art style. This is kind of powerful. Just had the robot on the back. All right. Let's just go ahead and go to. Well, it's got instructions on how to do the online, and then it shows which bag is bag. Or you could just simply start with bag 1 because it's smart. Bag 1. The bag is defeating me. I don't think I put any filters on the channel or on the live. I did the last time. There was something about comments being held, potentially inappropriate comments, etc. I do want this to be an open conversation, but I think I'm going to go to a story from when my dad was in the Army, doing a seminar for the leadership training. And he gave a dissertation, and he asked if anyone had any questions. And the sergeant in the back said, yeah, what's in the mess hall tonight? And my dad, of course, did not know. And the sergeant told him, don't ever just, say, hey, do you have any questions? Do you have questions on the material that we've discussed? And I think that's probably a good rule to have here too. Let's try to keep this Lego-oriented comments. Questions and thoughts, ideas, stories. It can be story time, I guess, to a degree, just as long as it ties into something to do with Lego sets, probably. We'll just try to do that. It's not a hard, fast rule. But like I said, I do have a second channel. We can't go live yet, we're too small. But there's a minifigure. A takeaway from the first order sets for Lego. I really like the TIE Fighters. I like that two-piece on it. That's pretty cool, actually. If I don't remember there being anything really cool or special for pieces in this set. I don't recall it. It didn't have stickers. I mean, it's got the standard print plates. That, and of course, this. I always like the TIE Fighter copies. They always look good. I always thought they looked really good. Like I said, I think Lego does a great job. I appreciate their product. I definitely support them, obviously. There's been some big channels talking about, and that is a very common area, is a lot of the criticism. And I think a lot of the criticism is validated. I mean, obviously. And part of it is because Lego makes great quality items. And because of that, they're buying public. They know what they're capable of. Oh, I see. Hit cancel. So we know what they're capable of making, and we well, we have expectations, and sometimes they definitely fall a little short. I put out video out recently, and I try to be as positive as possible, and that is why I'm here. I mean, if I want stuff, I don't have to go to the internet. No, got real world right there. I mean, got coworkers, and I can always listen to bad stories about people that you don't even know. And I imagine years later, if you make it a retirement or whatever, what have you, I imagine you can look back on the story and say, I never heard anything good from the coming about that person. But the irony is I don't even know that person. And in that way, it's a little bit like the internet. I mean, I'm not going to mention channels by name, but we know the channels that are out there. They literally specialize in spreading, or maybe even bringing to light, bad actions by bad people, and even people that we don't know. And in some cases, I believe that that's very warranted, and nothing like spreading awareness. But also at the same time, that's all you know about a person. We don't really know these people, they're just on the internet. But I think it's important that if you have a big following, or even if you have any following, you should kind of filter yourself. I mean, you should filter yourself anyways. And at least to some degree. I mean, so at the end of the day, how well do we know each other? How well do you know yourself? That's an interesting thought. And here, after talking about Lego stuff, I'm talking about everything but Lego. So, let myself get myself back on track here. What do you guys think about the TIE Fighter models? I always thought they were a nice standby. I like the very first ones, and this one right here, 75-300, is interesting. It's definitely downsized, but it has a nice balance. It's very sturdy, and really is about the same size as the original ones that came out. They just kind of got really big at one point there. And I wouldn't mind to see a return to those. In fact, there's some older releases, like Major Von Rex TIE Fighter. I would like to definitely see that. Oh, hey, how you doing? Masked Dummies. Ah, good to see you here too. Yeah, I like the bigger TIE Fighter, like Major Von Rex TIE Fighter, and it's a pretty cool build. I like that red. Hey, speaking about Lego sets, you followed the some of the sets from the Rise of Skywalker series, the not quite as popular movie series. That bomber is really gone up. I'm actually doing pretty good. Today's my day off, and kind of was it for the Saturdays. It's been kind of nuts on the schedule at work ever since the old coronavirus. Yeah, a lot of changes. A lot of the restaurants I really liked gone, and the quality has definitely suffered at some other places, and quality at where I work too. I mean, our service has definitely suffered a little bit, quite a bit, actually. Yeah. Anyways, that bomber build from that Rise of Skywalker, I kind of liked it. I mean, it's kind of a weird video or weird ship in the movie, and you could have some criticism about the design. But I thought Lego did a great job of building it. Anyways, I kind of slept on it because it was just sort of hovering out there, and now suddenly I see somebody posted a video about it's one of the higher priced sets, and boy, it sure has gone up. And well, maybe I kind of missed on that one. I mean, it's not like it's not a must-have. It's not like it's not even the highest priority as some of the UCS sets. Like oh god, I really like that gunship. That the latest UCS gun. I think they really knocked that one out of the park. Do we buy UCS sets for the minifigures? No, but I do believe that minifigures are part of the UCS experience, even though usually they don't fit because the scales are different, which is fine. On the UCS sets, what do you guys think? Should UCS sets be, well, of course they can't all be minifigure scale. I mean, look how big the AT-AT is. It's huge. But like your TIE Fighter and your X-Wing, or even this UCS gunship, Do you think that they should try to make a really nice, really clean play scale and call it UCS? Or do you think it's better that Lego makes them as a display and maybe make them oversized or what have you, and not really worry about play value or anything else? What do you guys think? And by play scale, I'm going to make a kind of controversial comment about um, you remember that Naboo and one that came out, God, back in the day, what was that, 2009? I may have the dates wrong. I definitely kind of want that one because I really like the Naboo and ones. I have all the play scale models. I think I have all the poly bags, but I've been holding off that so-called UCS one. It's got that really pretty chrome plastic, and I think it looks really good. But a lot of people are saying, well, it's not really UCS, it's too small. It is basically minifigures. I don't think minifigures will fit in it because it's got the black canopy, the black bricks, but it looks really good. But it's about the play scale size. And so I guess that's part of it. I mean, what do you guys think, you know? Is that a good example of a UCS set? Do you think that UCS sets should be a big, massive thing so we can display them and not necessarily intentionally massive, just to the point where it displays well, and you know, and then people can ooh and ah or look over it, and it feels like a collector piece? Or do you think you know, they should be play scale sized? Now I'm still away from the micro scale size for a reason. I think that's a completely different area. Mid scale, micro scale, I think that's a completely different area. I think Lego's done a great job of some of that light cruiser, Moff Gideon's light cruiser, the little TIE fighter builds. I really like them. I like the printed details on them. I like the little tiny gunships. And that brings us to this most recent UCS set they're talking about. The Venator. Be a nice set. And it's like, what, $650? Something like that. Meanwhile, that UCS gunship's out there floating around. It has not blown up really in price yet, which, you know, I think it's gone up about $100 or something. So I'm thinking about probably, maybe depending on how finances go, maybe look into something like that before I look at anything else. Recently, I had posted on this channel about getting a UCS set. I was thinking more like, for some reason, I was thinking more like original trilogy. I don't know why I was just in the mood. And of those, and the few people that responded also agreed, Death Star 2 is a very, very impressive piece. I think it would display very well. It's extremely rare and it undeniably is collectible. Plus, it very much fits the channel. The other option was a 2019 Star Destroyer, or even the earlier one from 2000, whatever that was, the one that kind of fell apart. Hey, we got Harry Brown. Hi, Harry Brown. We got Harry Brown in the chat here. Of course, I'm in the chat, and we're just sitting here and doing the 75-300. And I'm definitely getting hyped about new sets coming out. I definitely like, you know, new Lego sets coming out, and it seems like they had a lot of UCS sets lately. I still really like the A-Wing. I like Luke's Land Speeder because I think it just looks amazing. And for me, the Luke's Land Speeder is definitely a set I really like. I haven't seen the new Rex. No. How's he looking? Do they do a good job with him? Sorry, I wasn't ignoring the chat, just staring downward because I tend to forget where I am. No, I haven't seen the new Rex yet. In fact, I was talking to one of the Fred Meyer stores with an employee, you know. They got high theft there, so they always check on you if you sit too long. They really don't like you filming for some reason. But anyways, that didn't really come up as an issue. But while I had his attention, I said, "So you got any new Lego sets coming out?" And he had a blank look. He goes, "Well, they're always coming out with new ones." And then immediately he apologized and said, "Well, you know, we don't get all the new sets sometimes right away." And he broke into that whole thing, and of course that's fine. I mean, that's fine. But he said, "Yeah, just keep posted and keep a watch out. We should have new ones coming out." And that's cool. I mean, that's all you can really expect or ask for at the end of the day, I think. This little detail right here kind of threw me the first time I did one of these. It looks good, but no waist cape. Really? Really? So we're still not doing the waist capes? I think M&R put out a video with the showing it's not Justice League. It's one of the superheroes ones, and one of the figures there had a waist cape. Looked really good too. I don't know why they've gotten away from waist capes. I'm sure there's a reason. I mean, for some of the for the Hoth set, for like the AT-AT, it kind of, I guess it works because we're kind of where they're at, and they would fold over in those sets, in those seats, but. I would like to see a waist cape. I think it's just part of the experience, especially for premium figures. I mean, and they could even do a double duty. They could even do a printed one, I guess, and then include a waist cape, because then you could kind of put one on like those old Kenner Jawa figures back in the 77, 78, I think they were. They were printed, multicolored waist cape or a full outfit, and then they gave you a cloth piece. Whatever. The original ones actually had a vinyl one, which didn't work real well. It had become a tremendous collector value. But yeah, I think having the option would be nice. I think more than anything, that would solve a lot of the complaints with people is if you just give an option. If you just give an option. I was like that snap of Lego pieces. Not the snap of a part breaking, of course, but just a pretty straightforward set. No complaints. The new Chewbacca, I think it looks really good. I think it looks ferocious. I do really like it. I did drop a video recently about a misprint Chewbacca because personally, and now we're going to go to nostalgia. I really like the original Chewbacca. It looks a little probably lacking now, but I like the little black dot and just a nice print, just a nice clean mold. For me, that'll always be the proper Chewbacca. But the new one I'm definitely excited about because I like new stuff coming out. I love that Lego is moving forward with things. I don't want to live in the past, but because Lego stuff seems to last basically forever, if you like something from the past, you can always at the past, and if that's all you want or that's what you want to collect, well, that's fine. I mean, and that's what makes all this so much fun. Is you don't have to follow the rules. You don't have to. It's not like they expire or something. Am I missing a piece here? No, there it is. Live feed is not transmitting? Okay. Someone made a comment about volume and transmitting. We might be experiencing some drops in service because we're out here in the boonies. So if there's a delay, please bear with me. But yeah, the new Chewbacca, I'm pretty excited about that. Always like to see new stuff come out, new changes, new figures. And I think that's probably true with most people. I mean, that's probably where the real complaint is when we see these figures coming out or reused figures, especially some of that, I hate to keep barking on it, but that Obi-Wan figure where they recycle him, where he already has pre-damaged when he shouldn't have been. Stuff like that, yeah, it's expensive, but then Lego sets are expensive, and I think attention to detail would be nice, and that's what we kind of expect. Also, the other thing too is these criticisms about Lego are not really meant with harm or malice, because if you think about it, it just, we tell Lego we want these things, or we want that, or want this, because we know that they'll listen, that they'll make changes ultimately. And that's, I think that's great to have that feedback, you know. I mean, they actually listen, like the 501st Battle Pack. They actually gave us, you know, what people have been asking for. And that's great when a company listens. Is it perfect? No. But it's fine, you know. We like to get that input. Anyways, so there's that. You can speak freely.
You're not transmitting live.
I'm not. It may just go to a record because of the weather and stuff. I just keep. Oh, I have to keep running at this point. I can't stop the feed.
You never even started.
I'm getting feedback in here, Lori. I'm talking to people. It could be a localized fail, but thanks for letting me know, though. That was Lori. She's usually on the camera, especially on the RC videos on our other channel. Oh, no, I promise this is not the basement. This house actually has a basement. My mom and dad's house I grew up in was a split level, split entryway. Split entryway, I guess. And so therefore there was no basement. Instead, when you come in through the front door, there's a stairs going down and one going up. And then one's going down, going to a normal looking part of the house. The difference is the floor is concrete and under carpet linoleum. You'd never know that, except if you were a kid and you went to sleep watching movies and stuff, television, what have you, and you went to sleep on that floor, you might wake up kind of cold. You might wake up pretty cold. Why am I having trouble here? I thought it was, oh, I see. Looks like it's a repetitious step here. Sorry, I don't mean to go off on, yeah. Oh, I see. Very funny, Lego. They reprinted a step here. What is your favorite Lego set? Ooh. My favorite? I think, all in all, at 7662, the 2007 MTT. I really like different Lego sets. But the one that I have the most of, the one that I have a dream of having an open box of, is that one. Don't get me wrong, I, like everybody else, would love to have an open Cloud City, but that's just, that's just money. 76. Lost you guys there. We've got pretty good weather going here, raining and stuff. Do you have that, the 2015 one? Because that was definitely smaller, and a lot of people were pretty unhappy about that one. I'm just going to run this and see. Hopefully it runs. Hopefully we don't lose our live. YouTube recommends that we do live feeds, so that's what we're doing. I definitely like the engagement better. So if I lose you, it's nothing personal. It's just we're experiencing storms on this end, and we're out in the boondockies. But yeah, the new gunship, the gunship I really like, and that UCS gunship. I mean, will that become my favorite set? I don't know, because I think the play sets is kind of what attracts me. Like I said, 7662. Now that you brought it up, I think that is hands down my favorite set, and it may eventually not be, but it's awfully nice. Yeah, everybody likes that one. It's the detail, the play action with the droids coming out. It's just a great set. It's just a great one. Yeah, I live in America, Alaska actually. That's why we're having these weather things. We've had a really rainy summer. It's been hot, but it's been and you know, speaking about that, I know that country to country, what's available as sets sometimes varies, shall we say. Australia, you're having rain? I've never been to Australia. This looks very beautiful what I've seen of it on the internet and stuff. Yeah, it's the rainy season starting here too, and I'll be going on vacation soon, which is always a joke because they have the fair and all the end of summer stuff in August, September here, of course. And these are a lot of times with, you know, it's like candy and rides and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but it's always kind of funny because, you know, as far as I can remember, ever since I was a little kid, I've always gone, and it's always the weather's always so bad. Sometimes it's like storming, and you know they got these stuffed animal tosses. You can throw darts for stuffed animals. You go, hey, this is terrible. But yeah, it's pouring here, just coming down. But yeah, been looking on the internet for old like gunships, and always like I said, I was looking for. I don't know why I've been really kind of into the Clone Wars era lately. For it wasn't where I've always been. I bounced back and forth. I should come to Australia. That might be fun, actually. Me and Laura have been talking about going someplace. I haven't been outside. That's what we say up here. Because up in Alaska, you know, if you look on the map, we're the furthest up. We're outside of the rest of America, and people always call it going up to Alaska, and somehow up here we always call it going down. We call it lower 48. So when we go on vacation, we typically call it going outside. But because the state is big and it's pretty rugged, you can have what they call staycations and have a great vacation right here in the state. I mean, you can drive nine hours going north and reach Fairbanks, which is their old gold mine. Oh, you already built the TIE fighter? My clone army. Ooh, that's a tough one. I really like the phase ones, and it's not because I like them more. It's because Order 66, I know it's going to sound kind of silly because it's just a movie, but it always makes me feel kind of sad. I don't like that feeling of betrayal and stuff. And I watch movies, I watch television to escape, and it reminds me of stuff, and I don't really like it. So when I started collecting clones, I also kind of applied the same thing. So I stayed mostly with phase one. I do have some phase two, especially like the 212s. But my biggest clone army is the phase one bomb squad troopers. And if you go to my channel, is a playlist. It's not updated. I believe right now I'm around 500 of them. And they were from that set 7613 or 7614. 7613 battle pack. I believe, and boy, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, you guys let me know. I believe it's a 2011 battle pack. It came with a green clone trooper, a really cool ARF trooper, and then the two bomb squad troopers with a really cool build. And then the 7914 had the Mandalorian battle pack with like 4 identical Mandalorians. Really cool set. Hey, speaking of TIE fighters, do you like the older, bigger TIE fighters? Like, I think the last one was the Special Forces one for First Order. I wasn't feeling it when that set first came out, but after getting it, I kind of like it. I admit it, I kind of like that set. I feel differently about it now. I know MNR had a video about, I think he called it like falling out of love with sets, and I understand that. I've never really had that. I've never really like had serious regret about anything, but there's been a few sets that I bought them, and after I got them, I'm like, well, I thought it was gonna be better than this. And the most recent one, probably the only real one like that, is the that Imperial Shell, the last one came out. Should I get the ATTE, the newest one? I like the set. I do believe that in years from now, we may look back on that set and see it as one of the great sets. It came with a bunch of clones. If you go by what you see on the internet, the helmet holes, and it's not just the holes, it's something about the shape of the helmet. I can't put my finger on it. I don't like the helmet shape. And I didn't think it was going to be a big deal to me, and you know what? It's not. Except, if you go to my channel, you'll find out that I've replaced helmets. Now, I don't buy the earlier ones, strip the heads off like some people do, and then resell them, and therefore destroy that for some experience or someone else. I try to think about how others people look at, or how I would like to be treated. So what I've been doing, because at first I was like, well, so what if the helmet changes? You know, so what? But after looking at them and having them on display with the new ATT, I do like Commander Cody. By the way, I think he looks really good. Printed, of course, but I ended up going to Clone Army Customs, and for $4 a piece, buying their version of the 212, and it has holes in it too. But it just the helmets look better, I think, and they look cleaner. And somewhere on the channel there is I got a quick playlist, or maybe just a couple videos on the 212s, so what I think is wrong with them, and my own personal little rant. But a lot of people gave me feedback and said it was a good change, so I've left the video up. Back to Lego Boy Ryan. Oh, hello there. How you doing? We've been experiencing problems. I don't know why I can't prepare these properly. So we got an old bread knife. But we've been experiencing a lot of problems with the internet. It is raining like crazy here. It is. I guess it's I call it a summer rain, because that's what our weather is. It either is like really sunny and really hot, or the other way. Oh, the droid I was thinking about the other day. That's cool. I didn't realize he was in this set. Yeah. Yeah, the old Imperial droid. He's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys remember in A New Hope when C-3PO, or maybe it's R2, when R2 gets sucked in, and there in the background is one of these droids just like sitting there chilling out. First TIE fighter for you, or have you built others like the TIE Bomber? I built the TIE Bomber. I don't have the original one. Even though I know it looks kind of janky, I do kind of want it. I've actually built this set before too, and I've been kind of thinking that they'll probably eventually get phased out. I don't know. Does anyone know? Is Lego just are they going to let this set sit on shelves for a while, or are they going to replace it with an improvement? Maybe I should say so-called improvement. But I kind of miss the bigger TIE fighters a little bit. I do like the TIE Bomber. I know a lot of people were very critical because it had the blacked out and it was really small. But honestly, unless Lego made some really crazy new parts, I don't know that they could really get around that. And that would, of course, affect the price. Until at least the end here at the minimum. I think so too. It'll be hard to kind of improve for just a general kind of TIE fighter. A couple times I have been surprised at how quickly something vanishes off shelves, but generally not. We were talking about UCS sets earlier, and what we think about them. They're talking about the gunship. Oh yeah, it's all printed pieces in here, isn't it? That's nice. I do like some printed pieces. I was expecting another UCS TIE Fighter this year, but hopefully next year. Yes, I have the old one, the 2015 one. I really like it, and I know a lot of people were very critical. In fact, some people in real life are telling me I was stupid to even buy one because it's all blocky looking. But you know what? I don't mind it. I think it's great. I kind of like that little cheese slope look together. I think that they got a pretty round looking TIE Fighter, considering the limitations they had. And I always want to give Lego credit there. I mean, they don't just sit down and make a whole bunch of new pieces for some new set and then, you know, discontinue or get rid of the old pieces. Because if they did that, it'd make it almost impossible for us to rebuild a piece. Like, one of my favorite things to do on YouTube or Lego is to buy a Lego set that's missing pieces. I mean, not intentionally, you know. I mean, that's not my, like, I look for that, but sometimes that's how you get a good deal. And then I'll piece it back together. And I really like that. It's one of the real pleasures of Lego sets, I think. And where else could you do that, you know? Where else could you be able to recreate an old set or put something together that had fallen apart in the past? Other companies have come and gone. Oh, sorry you're late. Oh, that's fine. I want to announce when I do lives, but it's very hard to do because my work schedule is so chaotic. So rather than announce, it's been like throwing them up and just, you know, talking to myself and staring at the thing. And it's been fun because the weather is bad here and we've lost signal a few times. Am I on Instagram at all? Yeah, I am. And I haven't posted anything on Instagram. Well, I post from feedback. I'm sorry about that. From Facebook. I hit the little button to go ahead and post on Instagram. But my Instagram content has probably nothing to do with Lego, and I am going to work on that. I am trying to become more professional, more focused. I am trying to put, you know, Lego content onto Facebook, onto Instagram, and even onto TikTok. I actually am on all those places, but my content is varied. And there was a time when I guess I was trying to go viral or whatever, and whatever it is people do, and I put videos up that were kind of weird. This never really caught a thing. And in the case of YouTube, just one day by accident, I before I ever posted YouTube content for Lego, I was still collecting Lord of the Ring and Star Wars. And I ended up getting a fake, what was he? Darth Goldor? I don't know, one of those sets. Anyways, he was fake. And I was very annoyed. And then on top of that, my RC car broke, and I was working on that. And that's back when I used to show me fixing things, and back when I had more of a life, actually. So I was posting that, and I ran over this minifigure with my RC car. And that video shockingly got a lot of views, and I think got me subscribers. And so that gave me hope to start going forward with Lego content, which is something I like anyways. Okay, nice. I mainly upload on TikTok. I will look for you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, like I said, I want to try to bring my content on TikTok and stuff more in line with what I'm doing on YouTube. Here I am searching for pieces. Yeah, I think my very first view was like a lawnmower cutting. I've done some like lawn videos, but I was cutting the lawn at my mom and dad's, helping them out and stuff. So a lot of the videos are from there. But that reminds me, when you guys buy like an old set, like off the internet, like YouTube, not YouTube, was it? God almighty, talk about old age. Jeez, eBay or like. Not Bricklink so much. I haven't really had this problem with Bricklink, but eBay. Do you prefer sets are shipped, built, or broken? because I prefer them actually unbuilt. And mostly it's because there can be all kinds of weird stuff hidden inside, like, oh, I don't know, weapon parts or really weird colors, sometimes glued parts, or my personal favorite here recently, I've run into this a lot from a seller, where he'll have obviously a plate that was too long, and he'll just cut the end off or break it off maybe, and kind of file it down so it fits. That's my personal favorite for homemade weird Lego stuff. I hate it because I can't ever reuse a piece for anything. Oh, what are you setting me on? Oh, I'm doing a 75-300. The new was Imperial TIE Fighter, 432 pieces. But yeah, I'll definitely check out your TikTok though. And that's the other thing too is I'm really new to the whole social media thing. I mean, I got my first device that had internet. I mean, well, internet that I could actually explore, because I always had minutes before that. In 2019, and it's going to sound sort of funny, but I didn't even know that YouTube existed until then. So I had nothing, none of that at all. So I've definitely been learning, yeah, black on black. The lighting is really good here for the film part, but not so good here. So the parts kind of blend together. I mean, it's all right though. What do you guys think about the Lego gunship, the UCS gunship? And what do you guys think? Is it sets to be oversized so they're, more display, or should they be trying to make them more either minifigure size, which of course would be a lot bigger in some cases, or kind of keep them toy size or play set size? Do I have a sizable gun army? Still working on. I think I got about 60 figures. I really like the Kaidus, those little horse-like things. I really like that vintage look of those, just the studs coming out from their eyes. I think that's hysterical. I think I'd like to have about 100 Gungans if I could do that. And the reason is I'm really like the Naboo. Naboo is an easy one to do mocks for, easier, because plant pieces are easier to get, and they really help flesh something out. Like they can really make something look a lot better. In fact, I got that tip off of, I think it's Coconut Brick Studios, was talking about how to, like, because pieces are so expensive. Like the first thing I found out when I first started doing any kind of attempts at Lego mock building was, oh my goodness, the pieces. Yeah, I don't have these pieces. Now, I thought I had a bunch. Okay, I think that the gunship looks like a great set, but I think I would prefer the cheaper one coming out in September. Yeah, a lot of things about the color. I do like the look of the cheaper one. It's more of a play scale, which I think I'm going to draw a line between UCS and play scale, because I personally prefer collecting and messing around with play scale sets. But UCS, if you look at display, are pretty cool. In my opinion, the UCS gunship should have more figures. Yes, and I understand that's controversial. I totally get it, because UCS is not play scale. So why do you have to have play scale? Blah 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 blah. People will say. Well, it is still needs to be correct, and it's still. Yeah. I think in the case of UCS, even though the figures are not the attraction, it should have had more figures, because the UCS gunship was a episode 2, episode 3, because it's got the ball turrets. It wasn't sealed off like the, I think what could have been cool is they could have given a nod. This would make the set perfect, and it would have had the price would have gone up just a little bit. They could have included the pieces to give it the space-worthy Clone Wars edition one. Maybe thrown in, I don't know, Obi-Wan as a little Easter egg for that. And then for the figures, what would have covered all the figures? Padme, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda. the pilot, of course, the Yellow Clone Commander, and Mace Windu. And with those pieces, I understand it's a lot of figures, but with those figures, you would have literally have absolutely, undeniably made the set episode 2, episode 3. You could literally have the same scenes of where Yoda is talking to the clone commander, where he gives the orders. You could have the scene with the pilot turning back and looking back, where it shows very distinctly shows that his helmet is different. I think that every fan out there, even the ones that, I think everyone out there, all the critics, everyone else would completely have nothing to say. They'd say, well, and even then, I hate to say it, even then the price would have been higher. But even with that, I think the harshest critics will still say, well, but considering what you get, you know, it is what it is. And I think, yeah, that would have probably solved it all right there. But we didn't get that, but it's like the new ATTE, you know, they got the little Palpatine figure, right? I had to add him. I had to put him in Commander Cody's hand. And you know, I'm not even a huge fan of that just because of arc. I mean, it's part of the movie. I like it because it's part of the movie, but it almost makes me feel a little sad. I'm looking forward to the new play scale gunship, and I missed out on the 2013 one. I was like 6 when it came out. The 2013 one. How funny, I should have mentioned that. I found one on eBay. I've been watching it. We're still bidding on it. It's sitting at $120. It is missing a bunch of stuff. Even in the picture, I can see it missing parts. And the person uses a terrifying word. Had to substitute some pieces from non-Lego. We're talking probably Lepin. But I put a bid for it, and if I get it for, I don't know, I'm not sure, 100% sure what I'm willing to pay. I just know that I don't want to pay the inbox price. Absolutely not. Even the ones where I don't want to break open a box that's been sitting sealed all these years, but two, even sometimes you'll have a guy that says, oh, I got a broken box, but everything's still bad. And those are usually, for me, they've been usually legit. Even that, the price is just right off the charts. And the other thing I'm hoping is that the new gunship coming out will help bring those prices down. That's usually what happens, to some degree. That looks pretty good, actually. I'll just make sure I repeat the steps exactly. Mismakes something. But yeah, that'll be kind of cool. I think the new sets could cause the price to drop a little bit, and I don't really mind that. That's okay for me. Sometimes that doesn't happen, though. It all depends on how the fans perceive it. Well, hello there. How you doing? What do you think of the Commander Fox in the set? I like it. I think he works. I think he works also in Vincent. Oh, hey, Cyber Curtain Twitcher, one of my very first people I started watching on YouTube. Hey, David, just dropped in to say hi before going to bed. Good to see you too, my friend, and pleasant rest. The day is just starting here, but over there in the UK, I imagine it's dark. I was only there in the 70s as a kid. How long will this stream be? Just because I'm late where I am. Also, what sets are you building on the stream? I'm doing Lego set 75-300. We haven't even opened bag 3. And I don't know how to do streams. This is only my second one I've actually done where I've actually had some idea of what I'm doing. So once the set's done, I might sit and talk for a little bit, depending on one, the internet connection, and also I'm just noticing the battery on this iPhone too. Hey, speaking about cellular devices, I went and got that 2000 iPhone 12 Pro Max, and the speaker went out on it, and they wouldn't. 12:10 Sunday here, David. Oh, okay. And the speaker went out, and then my carrier they wouldn't on it, and wanted me to do this or get an iPhone 14 or something. And I'm like, you know what? No, no, I'm not going to do it. And so I I got on eBay, which is where I buy and sell old shoes and stuff on eBay too. It's something I do on the side. And I found a my carrier, which is GCI, locked device. It turned out it wasn't really locked. The person just didn't know what they were doing, which is good for me. And I got really cheap. When I say cheap, I mean like $80. And I figured it was junk. I figured I just wasted money, but it charged up. The battery is 96%. It's a great device. It does everything I wanted to do. The only problem with the 10Rs, if you've ever seen the reviews, is your playback screen is not the same quality as the pictures. It'll take better pictures than you can see. So there's that. Anyways, I'm happy with it. I'm using an old 10S now. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. Yourself? Wherever you're at? Doing the new TIE Fighter rather, just because I seen a set out there, the price was right, and I was able to pick it up. And I thought it'd be a good one for stream, and also in the future I might do some of my old set restorations on stream, or restoration where I'm digging endlessly through parts. Yeah, good to hear from you. I sometimes hesitate that because I've been told, I tried to do one on Facebook and I was told that all you can hear is my hands clattering and digging in the pieces endlessly. And that was extremely annoying, which it probably was. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's see how they go. God, it's been a long time since I did this set. I'd forgotten. Anyways, yeah, the old TIE Fighter. You guys prefer the? I guess I too was kind of looking forward to a UCS TIE Fighter coming out. But what are you guys' thoughts about the old? Speaking about original trilogy, the old Death Star 2. What do you all think of that? Oh, I'm wondering where you're. I'm in New York. Oh, I'm actually in Alaska. A remote area outside of Wasilla, out in what we valley. It's called the Valley because it's Matsu Valley, and it was created by Glacier Silt. It's also the farming district, although not really farming where I'm at, but it is a farming district. It's really cool. I've always enjoyed living out here. I moved out here in 2001, I guess it was. But yeah, I always enjoyed living out here. It's kind of away from the hubbub of the city, and which is where I work, and there's that. Am I missing pieces? Have you guys noticed that like missing Lego pieces has gone a little bit? Have you guys noticed that like missing pieces? I had a recent set, whichever one what I did. I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but I was doing a set and I was like, no, I know I'm missing this. I know I am. And ironically, I had some like actually right in there that were very similar, but I had a substitute. Now that reminds me, I need to go back through it and either check my official parts collection and see if I can find those pieces, because I don't like to have mismatched pieces in the set. And mostly the reason is because if you go to resell something, it's deceptive. I mean, even if it's unintentional. It's happened to me. I bought a 2014 AT-AT Walker. And it had missing where, oh, right then, sir, I have to go early. It's late. I'm going to watch a few videos of, all right. Then head to bed. Yeah, good to see you again, Darth Jar Jar. Glad to have seen you here. Have a good one. But yeah, got bit by a mosquito in the middle of the night. It's wonderful. We got lots of mosquitoes up here, but yeah, missing pieces were definitely a problem back in the day or lately here. I noticed more than it used to be. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I think all of us probably have tons of pieces laying around. For anyone who's wondering, it's like 2 in the afternoon here. I think it is. I don't. Oh, it's later than that. Hey, here's my cheap 319 here. This is my cheap phone I got for like $80 off the internet. It's that blue colorway. I think I showed it on the channel. I don't know. We'll take it out of the cover. There it is. I mean, look at it. It's not scratched or broken or nothing. Front glass, back glass is fine. Came with this Casetify case, which is cool. I did really good. I gave the person lots of positive feedback. I said, hey, great seller, great stuff. Yeah. He was shocked that I locked. He's like, you figured out how to work it? I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, I got it figured out. There was nothing to it. I just put my SIM card in and unlocked, and there it was. We were in business. But by the way, speaking of business, does anyone out there know at what price point you get the brick separators? Let's change something here on this set slightly. Oh, come on, are you serious? Well, shoot. But I like the old brick separators actually. Usually I have one handy, but not today. It doesn't really matter. I got my fingernails. They work just fine. Do this a little bit differently. I did not attach this piece quite as with the firmness I should have, so let's do it this way. And I noticed for sure I was missing 3 or 4 pieces in the Ninjago City material markets. Okay. It's $50 for a brick separator, but I changed recently. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, because I didn't think about, but I noticed like I get some sets in like, oh, that brick separator. Oh, look, another one brick separator. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I thought this would have had a brick separator. And out of there was escape. Ninjago, sorry to hear that. Did you have the pieces in your collection, or did you have to substitute something? Because I had to substitute one of the colors. I don't remember what it was. Oh, yes, and that reminds me. Back to that 2014. So I bought this AT-AT. The person's like, it's all 100% there. And it was, sort of. But deep inside of it, where it doesn't show some of the hinge pieces, were this red. There was also some yellow ones, but they should have been gray. That older colored gray. Not the old gray, but that kind of weird stone gray color. Wasn't a big deal. I didn't even measure the person. But that's the other reason why I like to see sets come broken rather than built, because you just never know what might be lurking. And had I went ahead and resold that to someone, I wouldn't have known, and I probably would have got the negative feedback. I'm glad to see printed pieces here. How do you guys feel about stickers? You okay with stickers? Okay, you had them in your parts collection. That's good. Yeah. The piece I was missing on the most recent set, it was very basic, and I do have the pieces in my collection, but I didn't have them handy. I just happened to have some loose pieces laying around, which were the same. There was a 1x2 plate, and the thing is, they were supposed to be like dark tan color, and the ones I had laying around are black. I mean, didn't really show. I did replace them, but it was just sort of surprised me. Oh, in the Moff Gideon light cruiser, I had a broken piece, one of those L bracket technical pieces that use 2 on each side where the engines are. One of those was cracked, which kind of surprised me, and you know, it of course failed, and I did not have one, which is fine, I guess. I mean, it's actually not fine, but I didn't have one handy, and you know, there it is. I just kind of had to do without it. I double stacked the broken piece in there. It fit, and I don't think I ever replaced it yet. Some of the pieces I noticed are really hard to get, like even in a set that you buy here locally, and then if you're missing a piece or you want to upgrade something, you find like off of Bricklink or whatever, it ends up coming from like France or Germany or something, or my favorite, Denmark, because that's of course where the Lego group is. And I was thinking like, why is this piece not more available? But it is. At least it's available. We have the internet. I'm old enough to remember when we didn't have internet, and you'd have to put these, they call it SASEs out. Yes, the stickers. I don't mind stickers 100%. I prefer not to have them, of course. I'm old. But I prefer to not have them. But for details, they work great. My least favorite sticker ever, hands down, and it's what kind of kept me away from that one resistance, or not resistance, but clone fighter tank. There's a sticker piece across that windshield, the white one, which turns that X-Wing windshield into a brick. When I built my 2013 X-Wing, UCS X-Wing, if you don't know it, if you buy one pre-made, hopefully the person before you either paint it or use a sticker, and they put it on properly. Otherwise, you get 2 stickers for this huge cockpit piece. And what annoys me, of course, is you don't see that anywhere else in Lego. All X-Wings are printed except for this one. Thankfully, I washed my hands twice. Alcohol wiped my hands, and it came out perfectly, no bubbles. The same day, true story, I put a glass protector on my iPad, and just as I was setting it down, a fly lands and squat. So that could have happened on the exit. And then I would have been not very happy. But it's fine. But yes, so when that clone tank came out with the Mace Windu figure, I was kind of freaked out because I'm going, that's a white sticker. And if I get it, I put that sticker on. Of course you don't. A friend of mine in real life, someone at work, they actually painted theirs. They masked it, and we do RC car stuff together. And what they did is they painted it from behind, just like you do your Lexan car bodies. And actually, it came out really, really good. Have you ever gotten 2 sticker sheets in a new set? I got 2 in Luke versus Dark Troopers. I've never gotten 2 sticker sheets before. Huh. Oh, what I just got was a new Stormtrooper. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. Undeniably, the detail of the new Stormtrooper is very good. The helmet is beautiful. It reminds me of the Kenner ones, but I just don't like it. I truly can't stand it, actually. Am I alone in this? That's about the expression I feel like I should be. I don't know. I just don't. It just looks big. I like the earliest ones, back from the days of the Stormtroopers and stuff. I like that era the best for their helmets. Let me know though. I mean, am I weird about it? Yeah, the helmet is horrible. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone because, hey, speaking about blasting the past in Lego World, you guys remember when those Rebel helmets came out, and like all these YouTubers were like, "Oh, it's so great, it's so wonderful." Then when everybody's like, "Oh, it's horrible," all of a sudden they change their stance like, "Oh yeah, it's terrible too." And I was in private. I always wondered, is that how you can tell when someone's land? When they're a Lego ambassador, is that how you can tell? Whenever Lego comes out with, "Oh, it's the best thing ever." Oh God, I'm getting backlash. I'm mostly just laughing along, but I did. It caused me to actually genuinely chuckle. And notice I'm not mentioning the YouTuber that we're talking about here, but even that one was a little bit guilty of that. And I got a chuckle. He's actually one of my favorites. And I like the film quality and stuff, but it was just, and I noticed that unlike the Stormtrooper helmets, these things, I noticed those Rebel ones have never made a comeback. And finally, with a heavy heart one day, I went and found one on eBay just so I would have it in my collection, just kind of a, hey, remember when? Because they literally vanished. It's like they were deleted. I mean, you just didn't see them. And I was like, God, it's almost like they just rewrote history. If you ask Lego, never happened. What are you talking about? No, there never was an improved helmet. We always use the same ones. So I was sort of hoping that the same thing would happen with the Stormtrooper helmets, but it hasn't. Yes, land members always sugarcoat most of the time. I mean, but you know what? Before being critical, I'm asking myself, okay, check this out. Especially me. I mean, Lego sets are expensive. But what someone said, tell you what, all you have to do, you get 5 of the newest sets before anyone else gets them. All you have to do is open them on a channel, tell them how great they are. And yes, there may be things that you don't like, and you can kind of mention that maybe you think this could have been done better or something like that. But don't be openly critical. Just keep saying how great they are. Push the greatness of, especially push them to your viewers, and then you'll continue to get these sets. I'll be honest. It would be hard to say no to that. Especially if they're not talking about actually lying, they're just talking about, pumping up the good parts of the set. And I love Lego. I think it's great. And even in some of the worst sets, maybe not the worst, sets that I didn't particularly care for, it definitely had, if nothing else, really cool building techniques. This latest, the Pirate Snub Fighter, has a new, I found very fascinating little Lego brick in there. It's a 1x1 square, but instead of being the thin one layer, it's a 2-up with a hole in the top, but it's not a full brick. It's a nice intermediate piece. I think it's great. I mean, and I love to see new pieces like that come out. So yeah, I would probably have a tendency to build those up. I would 100% take the offer for free sets and getting that early if I was in the position to. And I think that's exactly it. I know I would. I mean, I don't know seriously, money aside, getting new sets before release, getting to see stuff that hasn't even come out yet, that would be amazing. Getting to see the gunship come out before they made the correction to the sticker and stuff. And would I be okay with just not making a big deal of it? Sure. I might say, well, there's some inconsistencies, or there's a few this and that, or, I'd probably, instead of saying that there's not enough figures, I'd say, well, it's a UCS set. It's not really about the figures. There's some very, very nice figures. I probably would not. Of course, the damage about the Pilot versus Yellow Clone Trooper, that kind of came from that interview, not really from the set, because it would be easy if you're in land to just, sugarcoat that over. I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal. You just simply don't mention it. You just simply say, hey, comes with the Clone Commander. Yeah, all right, we saw him. Comes with Mace Windu. Saw him too. Everybody remembers him. I think it should have been Yoda, but hey, that's just me. And it would be awesome getting, I think a Jedi Bob would be great to see, but in a way, I think a lot of us are just seeing that from nostalgia. Doesn't make a lot of sense for them to make him anymore, unfortunately, but he's a good collectible. I don't have one, by the way. I just can't quite bring myself to swallow that pill. Has the upcoming gunship ever been revealed yet? I can't remember. Yeah, there's been some sneaky pictures of that red Coruscant Guard-looking gunship on some of the channels. I think it's probably legitimate leaks because it's all grainy and stuff, like someone was using a device to take a picture of something like powered it, like you see new shoes coming out sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm actually excited to see new stuff come out because 2013 was the last Playscale one, and for people that want to say, well, you just got the UCS gunship, yes, love it. It's a great build. Criticisms aside on the figures and stuff, it's a great build. I do love it. It's not Playscale. True story. My first UCS set was the X-Wing from 2013. and it was a used set off eBay, and it was missing a couple of pieces, but the person was forthcoming. They were missing incredibly basic pieces, like pieces that almost everyone would have, as like a light gray 1x2 and maybe 1x4. It's just like, it's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. But when I got it, it was so funny because as I'm building the seat for it, I'm going, hey, this looks like it's too big for minifigures. Of course, I knew that it was, but it didn't click till I'm actually building it. And so, it's all fun and good. But yeah, I like to see new play skulls come out. I think that's a real test for Lego, because play skulls are for everyone. UCS, I mean, like I said in that video earlier, Lego is for everyone, and then that's what we have to remember, and that's what makes it so inclusive, and that's what makes it so great. But with that in mind, the UCS set is an ultimate collector set. It's designed for the ultimate collector, and as a result, there's a certain level of accuracy and certain details, and need I say it, certain expense. I mean, if you were the Lego group, you would know that people that are lined up waiting to get your UCS set are going to be willing to pay more. They might not be happy about that, but they're going to be willing to pay more. And their opinion, it doesn't matter more, but their opinion needs to be, you need to be willing to give a certain amount of attention to your greatest fans, basically. Still haven't bought a UCS set yet, mainly space-related issues. Yes! That's exactly it. Okay, for me, actually, I got financial issues too to go with that. But yeah, people said, man, David, people at work, they got like coworkers got like 10 of them, 10 different people bought them. The 2019 Star Destroyer. And like, you should totally get this set. I said, yeah, it's a great looking set. Oh, man, why don't you get it? Where am I going to put it? Someone wise, always a wise guy at work, said, well, you could try doing it from the ceiling. I said, you're funny. That is funny. Earthquakes and stuff up here. It probably would be okay, but the weight of it, not to mention you have to flip it upside down, and I don't know how it would handle that. I mean, yeah, hang it from your ceiling. I used to do that with model planes when I was a little kid. Well, I still do it now. I mean, like I do a little bit of RC type stuff, and those airplanes, if you leave them sitting down somewhere, something bad happens to them. I mean, literally awful. People sit on them, or something gets put on top of them or something. It's just terrible. It destroys them. Not saying they can't be fixed, but you can just prevent them by hanging up, and they look great hanging from the sky. Lego sets, some of them are quite heavy for that. You gotta be careful how you anchor them. If they fall, they just don't handle that fall very well, to put it mildly. And if you're asking, do I know this from experience? Yeah, I actually do. I have a Y-wing hanging from the ceiling. Fishing line works pretty good. Yeah, it would. The Y-wing is a cool one. I do like the Y-wings. I know the X-wing is super iconic, but the Y-wing is one of my favorites. Just all in all, it's just one of my favorites. Straight up, it's a great set. They look good. I remember the scene, the trench run scene. I do like the Y-wing. Speaking about the Y-wing, while we're talking about Lego Sphere stuff, did you prefer the Clone Wars Anakin's Y-wing from 2009? Or do you prefer the more skeletonized as we see them? And I know that's not quite a fair question, because the skeletonized one is what we see in basically all the movies, and the Anakin one was, just Clone Wars. But I do like that fleshed out look. It is kind of cool, and I don't know. The Lego set, I have one that is perfect, like the way Lego released it, and then I have one that I modified and made the gray parts yellow, just like Anakin's was in the episode. And I'm currently thinking about doing one in reverse colors, which is what, not Sparkpunk, that clone, matchstick was flying when it was destroyed in the movie. Okay, you definitely think the 2009 is better. Yeah, I threw that one up on the internet too. I do have a sealed one. I do have a sealed one of the 2009. So when someone had asked me earlier what my favorite set was, I thought about that one for a little bit, because generally if I care enough to go and look for a sealed set, that's going to be an indication it's my favorite set, but it's not. Going by the number of sets I've had, a modified set, and just the fact that in that movie I like to freeze frame it just to watch, look at the scene. I love that 7662 MTT. It's just an amazing build, and it really shows what LEGO is capable of. Anyone out there would like to see a UCS MTT from LEGO? I know I would, but it would be big. They'd have to do it very carefully, even in play scale. It's a massive model. Not talking about that 2015 thing, not talking about that thing at all. Let's not even mention that. I mean, that was... I try to be positive in the video about it on the channel, and even someone at work had watched it told me, David, you're a little bit critical. He said you were being sarcastic. I'm like, yeah, I know. And that was like the third time I shot the video. I couldn't keep it out. I was sorry. Just my opinion was showing. We all have opinions. The B-Wing, such a unique design, and it is, and I sadly have to confess I don't own that one. I'm familiar with it, but I don't own that one. That was something I was telling someone earlier on the stream about, that weird bomber from The Rise of Skywalker, and it's a really cool build. It really is, and I don't know, did I miss out because the price on it is now going up, you know, like everything else does. LEGO sets definitely go up. Two of the 2020 ATATs to make them into an MTT. Looks pretty cool. That would be. That would be. Yeah, the MTT is such a, now that's an iconic vehicle. I mean, it's hard to say you have a droid army if you don't have that one. I mean, it is such an iconic that set. It's cool. I still remember the scene in the movie, the opening scenes, our introduction to Jar Jar. Yeah, good old Jar Jar. Yeah, Jar Jar Binks. It's a funny character. Been a few memes about him. But yeah, on the latest ATTE that came out, I put the set together. I definitely liked it. I really like Commander Cody in there. And after looking at the set for a while, I did go ahead and add the Palpatine hologram so you can hold his hand. And I did not put a crab droid in. Although I do have some custom ones. I am trying to be a little bit purist and not inclusive. That's not actually made by LEGO, but I really do have to, if I'm being critical here, I would have to say that we really missed an opportunity to get the crab droid out. Although that particular spider droid is a really nice spider droid. In fact, is it the best ever spider droid? I think it's an improvement. It's something that is a wonderful spider droid, but it was not right, and we all know it's not right. And even some people that were quite young who've just gotten into LEGO, even they were critical of it. People in my real life that know coworkers, kids and stuff. They're like, why didn't we get this one? I thought we were gonna get one of those cool brown spider droids. Especially with the scene where he's being, destroyed, shot with the trooper, with the clone troopers on his back. I'm like, wow. Yeah, it'd been a great chance for LEGO to give the people what they wanted. Oh well. Maybe next time. But it is a great set, and I think that the takeaway is every set LEGO makes, ECS or otherwise, we're going to see opportunities where maybe things could have been better or more in detail. That's because what they make is so great. It's and so there's always a chance. And when we've seen things, we know what they're capable of making. So yeah, I'm starting to sound like a land member. I should probably ease back on that. Oop, my low battery thing is coming in. Okay. The new ATT is one of my favorite sets of the last few years, a lot better than the 2014 or 2013 model. Yeah, the 2013, I did like the handle. It photographs well. My favorite, actually, of the old ATTEs, the Clone Wars one is nice and big. I like that. But my favorite one is actually the old one, though, 2003, is it? It looks like a cockroach, and I do like that. I really do like that. Man, my battery is getting a battery warning here. Well, I'm gonna try to finish the setup. I didn't really have a set. I didn't realize we've been over an hour now. Been yakking and yakking. Really enjoyed seeing you guys here. I do like the fact that no stickers on this. I guess everything aside, stickers are great. They can help bring a set to life. But I don't think anyone out there, I don't believe a single person out there in the LEGO sphere would complain if LEGO did not use any stickers and use printed for everything. I don't think a single person would have a problem with that. I think everyone would be just fine and happy with that. Also, give people who do mocks more choices, things that they could do. That would, oops, piece of plastic got caught there. This is a unique. I know this is an older set now, but I actually do appreciate sometimes seeing different things and how LEGO builds. I think that's cool. New building techniques. Sometimes we see so-called illegal techniques, which is funny, but LEGO says don't do this, and then a few years later they do it. You go, oh, that's different. Also, other than the reds, the dark reds, has anyone out there seen new brittle pieces? For me, just the dark reds seem to be a little bit brittle. And someone was saying and made a comment that it was probably the dye used, which makes sense to me. I think that in future years, we're going to look back on that newest ATT as one of the great sets. This attachment is so similar to the old TIE Fighter. I mean, this is better, but it just reminds me. It just reminds me. I don't mind this dark colored gray plastic here. Anyone else have a problem with that? It seems like it's okay. I mean, I will say one thing I like is I like the green. I do like seeing green in here because for so long, green looks good. So long they were red, and of course green is a color you see in Universe. But I really like this TIE Fighter. I mean, it's a nice sturdy model. It does shake. It looks good. I guess the canopy does look a little bit large. I wonder if there's a way to mock this into like a bomber. I know that getting that round piece going around would be a little hard to do, but I may mock this into. Oh. I wonder if this could be a starting point for a new TIE Defender. That's something we haven't seen for a long time. And it looks like we're all done here. It gives instructions on how to fire these off. I'll follow the instructions and see what happens. Yep, it worked. Thankfully, I have an extra one. Put that one in. Let me know down below. You guys ever clean up something or go pick up something and you go, oh my God, what's all these bricks doing here? What's all these pieces doing here? I do have some extra pieces here. They're pretty generous with the pieces. I guess I'll pull the blaster out. They're pretty generous with the extra pieces. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You guys ever like clean up a floor and go, oh, what's all these pieces here? You know, I do that. Sometimes that happens with me. Here we are finishing up. When you have extra pieces, sometimes you want to double check. Although the extra red, extra black, one extra stud there. Those are kind of cool. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this stream up because my battery is flashing at me. I don't want to get cut off that way. I hate them. I get hung up on or hang up on myself. Really appreciate all the views out there. Really appreciate the Lego group and the conversations and the input from you guys. And make comments or let me know what you think for the new sets coming out. I think I'll get me that gunship probably, and look at one of the old UCS sets too once I find the room. Anyways, appreciate all the views. You guys stay safe out there too. Till next time. Ciao.